Okay, here we go. Another breakdown for Kyle Cooper, one of my athletes. He's a Cat 3 rider. This is about a 60-minute crit. Actually, I think it ended up being about 50 minutes. But just pointing out, some really good things that Kyle did and, some things that he could improve on. Overall, his race IQ, honestly, is pretty darn good. Now, one thing to say about this race is he is looking for a point series in the green jersey, and basically it's the most aggressive rider. So every time he comes around, he's trying to come around the finish line first, and each time that happens, he gains valuable points for that. So he wasn't racing for the win, but they did have a sprinter on their team who was also racing for the yellow jersey, so they were kind of going at this twofold. Anyways, first part of the race, dude, great job moving up in the top 15 immediately. Always great to be at the front, especially in the early parts of a race. Fast forward to about the 2-minute mark. Here, again, he's going for, the point series. So that guy barely pips him at the line. Totally fine. Can regroup. Dude, what's up with your arm? Get that out of here, bro. I'm trying to do a race commentary. Thanks. Anyways, he went for that, just barely missed it. That's all right. It's not a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of racing left. We're 2 minutes in. But the thing I don't understand is, dude, why are you on the front so long? Why are you on the front? I don't understand that one. That one, if anything, just pull over to the right and soft pedal. Unless you got a gap, then you need to go full gas for it. Now, ignore his power numbers. He had some issues with his power meter today. Just wasn't working that great. I mean, looked at his ride file and it was stupid low average power. But then, like he said, he recalibrated for the pro race and everything worked out completely fine in that. And his numbers were back to normal is what I usually see. So super weird. Bro, again, get your arm out of there. Thanks. Come on, bud. No one wants to see that. Anyways, we're going to keep going through this clip though. We're going to come up on 3 minutes. One thing he does really good, and one thing I talked about last time, was making sure to follow wheels. And right here, what happens is these guys, they start to attack. Boom, right here on the left. There they go. And they start to attack, and Kyle does a great job about coming around that guy and then coming over to jump on their wheels. That's exactly what you want to do. They're coming into turn number 4 on the course, so they'll be coming towards the finish line. No doubt these guys are probably going for some points in that green jersey category. But again, dude, solid job on following their wheels. And look, that set you up perfectly to just sneak up the road right here and snag those valuable points. So, Kyle, well done, well played on that. And look, this time you actually moved over to the right, started to soft pedal a little bit, and kind of let them catch back up to you. Great work. Now we jump ahead, and we are 7 minutes into, actually we're 5 minutes into the race. This dude's starting to go off the front, right? So what do? Do you bring that back? Heck no. Kyle took my advice from last time, and he goes and he lets these other fools take up chase. Honestly, that is perfect. If you're in a race and there's people who are motivated, especially if you're like 5 minutes into a race, a lot of people are motivated to chase. You don't have to chase. And Kyle also has a pretty solid team with him in this race. So again, I mean, it doesn't really have to fall on their shoulders, but he does a good job of making others chase. Now we jump ahead and we're 7 minutes into the race. Again, these guys are kind of going, and Kyle, you're doing a good job of just kind of relaxing and let other people. Whoa, is that little Matt up there on the Zwift team from Fresno? Get it. Anyways, he lets a good job at letting these people just kind of jump in there and pull that back and fill the gap, because that means you are not wasting matches. So that is honestly a good thing to do. Now, the only thing I would have done was I would have stayed with that lead group. I would have stayed up there on their wheels, not falling back as much. Things are kind of chaotic right now. Things are kind of spread out. See, now you're trying to figure out, do I want to pick that side, this side? So you go with this side. In reality, the left side is actually going pretty good. So I would have stayed with that lead group. And as you can kind of see, they're kind of rolling pretty good here. It looks like, maybe they're trying to get a break going or something. So if you would have just stayed up top, it would have totally been fine. Not a big deal at all. But hey, what are you gonna do? I mean, that's racing for sure. So you just you gotta learn from those mistakes, and that's not a big deal. But see, what happens is these guys start to go, Right there, dude, I would have gone with that because that's a pretty good sized group rolling off the front right there. No one's super motivated or like worried about it, and they're kind of just letting it go. I think honestly, dude, if you would have got off the front into that group, you guys could have actually gotten that going pretty good and got rolling really well. So that's just something to think about. I mean, you see one guy go solo off the front, I wouldn't worry too much. You see, you know, 2, 3, 4 guys, 5 guys go off the front solo, you definitely need to be in that move. So I would have attacked to get up to that move, close the gap, because again, you guys aren't going fast enough. You're just kind of spread out, not really sure what to do. This is really good. You jump on your teammate's wheel. We're 10.5 minutes into the race now. Now at this point, you yourself are starting to gap the field. I would honestly just let him roll away. I mean, he's doing a deep dig. I would just kind of sit up and let your teammate go. In fact, I wouldn't even like follow his wheel. I would just stay back in the group where we were and let him roll away. Like just let him go. And right here, I think you kind of realize that. You look back and you see your shadow. And you realize the pack is completely strung out. That dude behind you is barely on your wheel. Now you're starting to ease up. You're starting to block and let him go. That's what you should have done a little bit earlier. But anyways, going up to 12.5 minutes into this race now out of 50. Your teammate is, I believe, right here. Yep, there's your teammate. So you do a good job at getting on his wheel, and you use him to move up. That is textbook. I think the last time, the last breakdown we did for you, just kind of talking through your race tactics, was you need to use people to move up, and you did a great job right here. I mean, look, dude, he is killing himself to get you to the front because again, Kyle is going for these points each lap. First time across the line, you get points towards the green jersey. That's what he's going for. Your teammate is doing a phenomenal job at bringing you up. It really honestly looks like this might be a bigger points lap for you. Dude, great job at using your teammate and just letting him bring you up the road. I mean, look, you guys are already gapping the pack behind you. So if this turns into a breakaway, there's 2 of you in the breakaway. I know there's another dude solo up the road right now, not that far. But again, great job at that. Now we go 15 minutes in. Bro, love how you just come up here and let this guy do work. Honestly, I wouldn't have cut the inside on him. I would have just sat right on his wheel because that would have caused him to chase a little bit earlier. But now he is full on chasing. You couldn't have done that better. Like, that is not your job to bring that guy back. I mean, if anything, I would just go across to that guy and then see what happens. But you did a fantastic job of making this guy right here chase. So you're sitting in, you're getting the draft, you're not doing any work. This guy's doing the work. He's keeping that guy at bay. And then when his time is up, you know, let the next guy slip in, and you keep riding wheels. And honestly, I think that is what you did. But we're gonna fast forward to now 25 minutes into the race. So it looks like this is a little uphill drag coming into the final corner before the finish. And you were well positioned. You're at the front. Honestly, the entire race, Kyle was extremely towards the front. He was right up there in the thick of it. Super good stuff. This guy, he's going for the points. I think you might actually be battling with him at points. I've seen him up here quite a bit going for points. But dude, you just came around him like it was nothing and you took those points. That was a great, valuable way to do that. Like, awesome job setting yourself up for success and riding those wheels through that. Now here we come out of this corner, and I believe we're going back into that back stretch right before turn 4 going to the finish. This is a slight uphill dig, and you put in a solid little attack here. Like, honestly, well played. You're at the 28-minute mark. You're almost halfway through the race. People are maybe getting lazy, getting a little tired. Look, you're causing them to immediately react, and they're immediately chasing you. Actually, one guy comes across, and then if you had a little bit more left, it would have been sick to jump on his wheel and get a free ride there. But all in all, it's totally okay. That was a good little attack. I mean, look at the field. They're completely strung out. So obviously you did a little bit of damage there and made them hurt a little bit. But that is great stuff. Now we jump forward a little bit more, about 30.5 minutes into this 50-minute crit. Right there's your teammate. Your teammate goes to accelerate and you kind of let him go, right? So only thing I would have done differently was I would have ridden his wheel and used that to move up. But you actually kind of redeem yourself because right here on the right, Here's your other teammate. He moves up. You do a great job immediately jumping over and getting on his wheel. And now you're taking his wheel up through the pack, in which he is moving up easily, and which also is allowing you to move up easily because you aren't using any valuable watts or matches to burn. You're not breaking the wind, like he's doing it for you. So that is a great job. Great job at following his wheel up here. And then these other guys attack. This is great. You let your teammate go. That is fantastic. You jump on this guy's wheel and he responds. And again, once again, Kyle, you were doing a great job at using other people to close gaps. That is phenomenal. I cannot be more excited or impressed by that. It's something we really talked about last time. And again, you were really allowing that to happen. The only thing I would do here, that is your teammate off the front. I understand you want the green jersey points. Dude, I just let him go. Don't touch the front, because now what happens is you slowed up too much and people start blowing by you. So now you just lost a ton of position, and you also kind of kept them motivated to chase your teammate back. So I would not do that in the future. Anytime you have a teammate go off the front, I would not go with it, and I also would not sit on the front. But now we jump forward to about 36 minutes in, I think. 36 minutes into this race. And you get in a good little move right here, like a good little dig. I like this move. It's looking like, you know, you got some solid daylight. The only thing I would have suggested was, you know, you and him kind of realize that and start to talk. I mean, again, you're 36 minutes into the race. You're past the halfway point. What? It's a 50-minute crit, so you got about 14 minutes left in the race. You guys, honestly, if you worked really good together, you could roll this. I mean, the field has been kind of semi-motivated, but they don't seem like crazy motivated. So I would roll this. Like right now, I mean, you guys have some pretty good speed, so I will give you that. You guys are rolling pretty good. Definitely, this is where I would start to think, hey, let's go all in for a lap and a half, 2 laps, see what we can do, because you never know. They might stop that, and hopefully your team will be back in the pack, just kind of chasing, keeping things at bay. But again, I mean, you guys are going pretty good. You guys are rotating, taking turns, doing a good job here. You know, pace slowed up quite a bit coming up this hill. I would have probably driven it a little bit harder up over this hill. But again, you know, it wasn't your pool. I mean, he's doing the best he can, so that works. But this is a great little move. I mean, it's very late race. This is very threatening, so I'm surprised it's taking the field that long to chase you guys down. But now you can see them in your rear camera. They're coming full gas, single file, strung out. Right here, you go for these points on the line. This is something I would do, but this is a 37-minute mark. What I would do here is I would actually attack through that and keep going. Instead, you sat up. I would have kept going because you got the field strung out. The pressure's on. They're trying to stop this breakaway from going. You might be able to force a split, you know, maybe 10 to 15 guys. I mean, look, there's actually a split right there. You can barely see it. So I would have came through that line and kept driving that pace, even if you had to burn a match or two, because you guys actually had a decent little split on the field. And again, that could have been the race threatening move. And see what that guy countered right there? That was a perfect time to counter. But anyways, now we jump ahead to about 42 minutes into the race. And this dude in red totally reminds me of like Andre Greipel. But anyways, he goes right now and he's gonna put in a little dig. Dude, Kyle, you were in a perfect spot to follow that. Major pat on the back, kudos for following that. He just gave you major daylight on the field. Again, you guys only have like 8 minutes left in this race. This could be a dangerous little attack. So the field realizes that they're completely strung out. They're trying to follow you. He's giving you a great lead out to the finish line, which is perfect. You come around him. He doesn't even contest it. I'm surprised he even gave up your wheel. Like, come on, bro, what are you doing? Like, that could have been a good move. Again, you came through the line first. Awesome. You got that dude behind you who's really digging. And when he catches you, I would honestly just keep the gas on and see what could happen, because you guys are so close to being in the end of the race. Now we skip ahead to the 48-minute mark. Remember, it's a 50-minute race. We are coming into one lap to go right now. If I had my little cowbell, I'd be ringing that for you. But anyways, we come into 1 lap to go. Kyle really needs to be positioned towards the front. There goes, I believe that's your sprinter. I want to say that's your sprinter. I'm not fully sure. I don't know his team that well. But here's your other teammate on the right. I mean, you got 2 teammates here. Only thing I would suggest is to really ride your teammate's wheel. Really stay on his wheel. I mean, it looks like he's doing a good job of being positioned well up towards the front. If you guys can maybe learn how to organize a team lead out train, that would be super beneficial for the Cat 3 races. A lot of times the Cat 3 races just aren't fast enough in the final lap. So right here, you're starting to find your teammate again. Again, I would stay on his wheel. It's really hard to move up in the middle of the pack. If you see, the far right side is moving up quite a bit and the left side is moving up a little bit. But again, stay on his wheel. Stay right there in the thick of it. I mean, you're constantly losing spots just due to people moving up on the outside. But right here, this is where I would really dig hard. I know you've been burning masters all race going off the front, but look, your teammate right there is moving up beautifully. You lost his wheel and he moved up quite a bit. You went backwards on the way. That would have been the only thing I think you could have done differently, is just really stuck on his wheel for the sprint finish. I mean, the field behind you is completely blown up. There's very few guys coming around. I get it, dude. You're totally waxed too from all the efforts you did during the race. But overall, Kyle, man, if I was to like rate this on a scale of, you know, like F to A, dude, I would honestly give you like, I'd give you a B plus to an A on this one. You did a fantastic job at just kind of listening from the last video and taking note of just using people to move up. I did a fantastic job with that. When other people would attack and it wasn't super threatening, like a 1-person attack, you did a great job at letting other people fill the gap in front of you and do all the work to pull them back. So I applaud you for that as well. You did a great job at setting yourself up for success and grabbing those points for the green jersey every time you come around. That was well played. Only other things I would have done is not chase your teammate, let your teammate go. The other thing I probably would have done is attacked maybe once or twice through the line, because they always kind of give you daylight. Other than that, super good stuff, Kyle.